right, so AEW was the other night, and it was a fairly good show. Better than a lot to me the last couple of weeks that they had with this show. I was like, yeah, they ain't really been it for me. This one I thought was a lot better. The pacing and the matches, they came more right out with stuff, and outside of MJF and like his segment, what he's doing, they're really just a little lackluster in a lot of spots. But they started off hot with MJF, Daniel Garcia. I was like, Daniel Garcia. I was like, I really like him doing his stuff and sort of like picking between entertainer, wrestler, and stuff like that. And it's like it made me think of like his match against Bryan a little bit, where he basically was like with the Jericho Appreciation like crew, but trying to do it, trying to be his own thing, and MJF also trying to be like, man, don't wait for these knobs, these old dudes. Nah, you young, you got a chance to be where I'm at. Why don't you take it? So they're having that match while he over here also struggling to do his little stupid dance. I was like, the whole kind of thing. AEW got a lot of people that got dances. Anyway, but yeah, no, it was a solid match. I was like, they both were working over each other's arms. Garcia got his arm work. MJF got a knee work. MJF was of course going to win. They had tried to have the whole handshake. It didn't work. Then after that, bunch of shenanigans. Yeah. So then I was like, so you had the Bang Bang Gang, with the guns. I was like, they pretty much was out there. Basically, they were talking junk earlier, basically, the MJF, after they match, just basically saying, you ain't nothing, you ain't gonna do nothing, you better find that mystery partner, all this other stuff. Also the guns, who I didn't think I would end up liking. I like them, but I sort of like the Bang Bang Gang in general. I was like, it's sort of funny that, of course, they're the guns, and then they're in the Bang Bang Gang, and their guns up. I was like, I maybe missed that part of how they all align and stuff, so forgive me with that. But they didn't really. There was a couple of these that were just like matches, just to have people. Woo. I was like, Swerve out here fighting Penta. I really like Penta. I was like, when he first came on AEW, I was like, awesome. That's the guy I'm riding with. It sucks that they don't do fully with what I think they could, but hey, him and Swerve basically, they basically had a matchup. Like they basically had their chopping matches. They basically I was like, they were snapping the hell out of each other's arms. It was crazy. They each were just doing like the craziest one to me, honestly, was really the one that he did on Penta, where he bent his arm back and then he just like stepped on it. And I don't know where the noise came from, but I heard a snap, and I'm like, yo, where did they do that at? Because I was like, that one was good timing. That one was great timing. Where did they get the noise for that? But yeah, he beat Penta because I was like, Penta sort of been losing anyway, but also he can't lose going into basically Hangman 2. So, which him doing the whole thing with the kid thing, I didn't really like it. It wasn't really that great. Like, considering we've seen a lot of like going to people's houses angles and stuff, or going, I was like, that one wasn't. It was the threat wasn't there. I mean, the threat's there because like some other man's in your house, but it was weird because he was like talking to the baby, and the baby's there, and it's like, so there's no other people in the house. Nobody else can hear this. Like when Samoa Joe did it at least was threatening, and then it cut off before he went to the house, but you felt it or whatnot. Yeah. So I was like, but I'm still excited for it. I was like, I'm on Swerve, the whole thing, Swerve when you drive. Yeah, no, that was good. Backstage segments, I was like, for instance, Orange Cassidy versus Moxley. I don't I just think Moxley's crazy. I don't understand his motive here, but whatever. They're going to have a match. Wheeler just sounded like the guy that's like, yeah, my big brother going to do it. That's what he sounded like to me. Yeah. The Young Bucks versus Kenny and Chris Jericho seemed like that escalated. I thought it could have been a little bit more funny. Kenny sort of seemed like, why are y'all throwing me in this? Well, I'm in the middle. But then he sort of turned a super like competitor where he's like, all right, bet. We're going to have this match then, son. Yeah, so that's going to be a thing, which, you know, their whole thing is kind of like, I was like, this Chris Jericho ain't doing it for me. It's also like, I was like, I mean, I am here if he's sort of just like an asshole that's sort of, you know, in a way that's like, I got more money and I do this type of thing. I'm a veteran. I still, like, you know, I was like, if you just start talking junk like that, I'm going to be down on that one. Sting and Darby basically had a throwaway match. There was nothing else here to report. It was that's all it was. Nothing serious. I don't really care for none of their stuff they're doing either. I was like, which is funny because I was like, I'm like, this is better. The matches have been a lot better too to me. So I was like, I don't know. I still enjoy the whole Adam. I still think that's funny. I was like, it's dumb, but I think it's funny. I was like, the Keith Lee versus Samoa Joe, I thought was good. Could have been better. It's also weird. Like, so Joe vacated it so he could have a chance to chase after the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Cool. And I get it, because I was like, for him to drop it, he didn't drop it, he vacated it. Because dropping it, being a Keith Lee would have won it. But somebody like Keith Lee and Samoa Joe, you would think that'd be such a bigger match to have it mean something, and it really wasn't. And then he just vacated it, so now it's just like, and I was like, I get it. He won, boom, but it wasn't a big enough match to be like, yeah, he vacated. I won this whole thing. I murked all of y'all. I'm going for something bigger, which also sort of makes the ROH, which we know they're the secondary like level title, but he made even more that secondary level title. Like, he didn't say the ROH like heavy, you know, he went to AEW. So that was just weird, just because it's like Keith Lee, who I ain't really seen for a while. I know you've sort of been on a collision. I don't really watch that, but you know, it's just weird. I was like, that was just sort of weird. I mean, but I like Samoa Joe, so I mean, I'm gonna keep on keeping on with that one. You know, and MJF kind of figure out he wanted him as a partner and all this other stuff. Then you had Jay White versus Briscoe, and I was like, it was a nice, fun match. I was like, I sort of like what they've been doing here with Jay White, basically, you know. Basically, kind of like he's like really like slender in his frame, so he's been getting against a more beefier guy, getting slapped and getting, you know, like taking, you know, like come on, like tough guy. If you want to be tough with your little bang bang, shoot 'em up, click. But I was like, where they had his shot on the line, he was never gonna lose it. But yeah, I was like, it was nice, really nice match. MJF tried to get him at the end, sort of do, but don't. Also, man, I was like, are they not hydrated or whatever? They be dry mouth like hell. You know, like Jay White, MJF, I was like, I just be seeing like they little like spit clots and stuff like that. And I'm like, do they not drink water at any point? Like, do they not? Anyway, yeah, and I was like, there was like a Tony Storm thing, which, you know, it's all right. I was like, yeah, that was the thing. The Velvet Julia Hart thing. I know there's like a little bit of a whole thing going. I don't know enough about it in order to say anything about it. But yeah, no, I was like, the matches were really a lot more on point and building to the storyline for Full Gear. I was like, it's been better than what it has been to me the last couple weeks, but it also been like a little bit at the same time. But yeah, so that's a little bit of my AEW, you know, little like takeaways. Yeah, I was like, what do you think of the episode? What did you think at all, I guess? So how it's been lately. Anyway, let me know if you like the video. I appreciate it. If not, hey, maybe next time. But until then, see you for another one.